Florida Republicans winning big, with Governor Ron DeSantis beating Democrat Charlie Crist by double digits just 4 years after winning by less than 1%. Senator Marco Rubio beating Congresswoman Val Demings by a sizable margin. And Fox is now projecting Florida's 7th district to flip red for the first time in 6 years, with Republican Army veteran Cory Mills defeating Democrat Karen Green.
And Cory Mills joins us now fresh off his big win. Cory, great to have you here. How'd you do it? Why were you able to complete this big flip?
Well, thanks so much for having me, Todd and Carly. I'll say the biggest thing is that the Democrats have basically had the American people finally tell them definitively, we will not stand for your communist and your perverse ideology. You know, the things like economy and inflation was a driving factor. The things like their out of touch messaging, I think, was a big factor. But also, I think in my district specifically, they really saw me as a person of action, whether it was my service in the military as a combat veteran, whether it was me going to Afghanistan to help rescue Americans after the botched withdrawal, or even during Hurricane Ian when I mobilized the team to go out and we started doing evacuations. We started delivering water, baby formula, baby wipes, things that were needed for the people here in my district. So they're tired of cheap political rhetoric and want a person of action. I think that they know they have that with me.
Cory, the cover of the New York Post this morning, it says "the future," referring to DeSantis. And I don't think they're talking about Florida's future. I think they're talking about the country's future. What happens in 2024 now that Ron DeSantis has gained such a sizable victory? And what does that mean, DeSantis versus Trump? How do you see all of this playing out?
Well, you know, I'm not really sure right now on whether it's a Trump versus DeSantis ticket or a Trump DeSantis ticket or who puts their hat in and where. I'm just blessed that here in the free state of Florida, we get to have at least another 4 years with a great governor who has, you know, went against the political science and opted in for medical science. He knew not to shut down our schools. And as a result of that, we're the 3rd highest education in the country. You know, we're the 2nd lowest on taxes in the country. And I think that it really says a lot when so many people, even before the elections, were voting with their feet by leaving blue states and coming here to Florida because they understood what they really are looking for is for America to be more like Florida.
Looking ahead, though, to future elections, what lessons can Republicans that are waking up this morning in states that they did not see the success that they did in Florida, what lessons can those Republicans learn from Ron DeSantis, from Cory Mills, from Marco Rubio as to how to campaign better?
Well, I'll tell you, you know, voter contact's really the big deal. So, you know, we've walked probably, I can't tell you how many miles, but we've knocked over 150,000 plus doors since I entered this race in March of 2021. And I can say that, you know, when it came to events, we've done hundreds of events throughout this. We've given town halls, we've given meet and greets, we've had big rallies. And I think that one of the things that Ron DeSantis has done great at, and as has Marco Rubio, is that really rallying around the Republican candidates and nominees here in the district. And so I think that rather than them thinking about themselves, Governor DeSantis was really about making sure that the entire state won. He recognized me in many of his speeches, and so I think that you saw a real unity for the conservative red wave here in Florida.
Cory, how do you explain what happened in Miami-Dade County? It turned red, flipped red for DeSantis for the first time in, 20 years?
Yeah, look, I'll say it time and time again. The American people are awake, not woke. You know, it's one of those things where they see the CRT and indoctrination in our schools and our military academies, the ESG trying to creep into our corporations. They saw the unconstitutional vaccines that were being pushed by the blue. They saw that the continuation of trying to lock down schools by the Democrats. And, you know, when it came to Ron DeSantis and Republicans here, even in the Florida state legislature, you know, they really stood for the American people and parental rights and the right to choose.
Cory, we're glad that you won. We will no longer have to call you Cory Mills congressional candidate.
All right.
Because of your victory last night, and we appreciate you waking up with us. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Congressman-elect.
Thank you so much.
That's right. He's been elevated in title.
Almost. We have to wait for the official thing to come down.
Thanks, Cory.